a mysterious death that could be linked to a satanic ritual sacrifice, a coven of witches, or black magic, or perhaps a serial killer. In the summer of 1972, a New Jersey high school student vanished without a trace one evening. That student was Jeannette DePalma. Over 5 decades later, what went down that evening remains a mystery. On August 7th, Jeannette told her mom she was going out to meet a friend. When she didn't return that night, her mother called the police, and it was discovered that Jeannette never made it to her friend's house. The search for Jeannette began, and it was not until 6 weeks later that a dog led to the discovery of a body in a wooded area on top of a hill. Dental records later confirmed it was the body of Jeannette. Jeannette was found, but the investigation into her death would take many turns, and more questions than answers would rise. An autopsy of Jeannette's body couldn't be performed due to the state of decomposition, and a cause of death could not be determined, marking the first puzzle of many yet to appear. Ultimately, Jeannette's death was deemed as suspicious rather than as a homicide. Some stains were found on her clothing and undergarments, but the state of decomposition made analysis inconclusive. Investigators looked into the possibility that Jeannette could have died as a result of a drug overdose, but no traces of substances were found in her blood. They did find a clue in her blood work: high levels of lead, which could be an indicator of a gunshot wound. But that still wasn't enough to give a definitive answer to how Jeannette died. The public had their own theories of what happened to Jeannette, and they're all rooted in the supernatural. The arrangement of Jeannette's body led to the birth of one theory. Her death was a sacrifice in a satanic ritual. Her body was found surrounded by sticks that formed the outline of a coffin and crosses, alluding to a sacrificial killing. The locals had been sharing stories about children holding seances, praying to Satan, and sacrificing chickens and the occasional goat. Then there was the name of the area where Jeannette's body was found: Devil's Teeth. A theory of a witch coven being involved emerged soon after, and people believed Jeannette's death was part of a black magic practice. Jeannette was a devout Christian, and she was known to preach to other people to condemn Satanism and witchcraft. The pastor of the church she attended believed that made Jeannette a target, and that she was captured and killed by a group of Satanists because of her faith. It was also believed one of her friends was involved in some satanic rituals. On the other hand, investigators speculated Jeannette's death was the work of a serial killer, Richard Cottingham, also known as the Torso Killer. Cottingham was active in the New Jersey area between 1967 and 1980. He would stalk, assault, and murder young women. He was convicted of killing Mary Ann Pryor and Lorraine Kelly, whose bodies were also found in wooded areas, similar to Jeannette. When he was arrested, Cottingham claimed he'd murdered 100 women, but never spoke of Jeannette, and no connection between them was ever found. Investigators had another theory based on the absence of Jeannette's purse and jewelry she was wearing the day she disappeared. She was killed in a robbery gone wrong by a drifter. There was also the possibility that Jeannette committed suicide, but no evidence or indications were found to support that theory. With no leads, the case eventually went cold, and Jeannette's family has always been insistent that she was murdered. The public has been fixated on the involvement of Satanists or a witch coven. Over the years, Jeannette's family attempted to investigate her death by themselves, asking the public for any information or leads, but they kept hitting dead end after dead end. The death of Jeannette DePalma remains one of the most mysterious cases out there and has not been officially declared a homicide. Her case remains open.